we're in the process of selecting a consultant, or procuring a consultant to complete the environmental assessment, as well as doing the initial RFP, or request for proposal package, that design build teams will propose on. Again, estimated cost will be $100 million, and we anticipate being able to advertise this in August of 2010, hopefully to begin construction in early 2011. The Middle Street Merge project is anticipated to save commuters approximately or up to 20 minutes of commute time during the peak hours. But we all know that this Middle Street Merge also impacts traffic during the middle of the day, during the afternoon, and also on weekends. So this one project alone will impact traffic by alleviating congestion 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And I think this is going to be one of the most impactful and meaningful projects that the Department of Transportation has done in a very, very long time. So with that, I would like to bring up Dean Hazama, the chair of the neighborhood board, to give some comments from his view as a person from as a member of the public. Dean.
Thank you, and good afternoon. Yeah, I have one camera at our neighborhood board meeting, so about 6 cameras too many. But these are two much needed projects, and Brennan asked that if I could come up and say a few words about these projects. I don't have to tell our legislatures about the traffic problems and the problem that our residents have with them. You guys hear about it every day, and we have to deal with it every day too. So anything, we're from Nanakuli to Moanua Valley. We all are in this together. We share the same single primary corridor, which is H1. So any improvements along the H1 will benefit us all. And that's why I think these two projects are great. I just want to say something about the PM zipper lane. An advantage to having that is that if we have any problems on the H1, like a crane hitting an overpass, and we have to shut down the H1, these contraflow lanes will have emergency entrances. So now we can actually send traffic in 2 lanes instead of shutting down 5 at one time. So I think that's a great benefit to the contraflow lanes. Thank you.
Thank you. And speaking on behalf of the House of Representatives, I'd like to bring up Representative Marilyn Lee.
Good afternoon and aloha. I'm speaking on behalf of the House of Representatives, but also speaking on behalf of people in Central Oahu. The number one complaint that we hear from constituents is the traffic situation. And I do believe that these two projects are going to greatly relieve the traffic situation, not only going to work in the morning, but coming home in the afternoon. It's also going to be saving people money in terms of gas use while standing in traffic. It's going to save money in terms of time. And also there is a health and safety issue involved in both of these areas. So I'm very pleased to hear that we're planning to get these projects going on the road. And I know everyone in Mililani and Central Oahu is going to be ecstatic about their completion. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you. And now I'd like to bring up Senate President Vinnie Hamagusa.
Good afternoon and aloha, everyone. Aloha. I'd like to, of course, say thank you to my colleague for being here, Senator Hamilton and Senator Hemmings, and of course the mastermind of our Transportation Committee, which is Senator English, who keeps telling me, wait till you hear highway modernization. And I keep telling him I'm getting used to the harbors, don't get me confused. What I think is very significant about this specific project is think about what it represents. We all know we're heading into very difficult economic times. And what this project represents is doing so much with less. And it also represents, when you look at the funding that Brendan has worked on, you're looking at the maximization of federal funds. Some maybe as high as 90%, another maybe 80% shared with the state. And when you think about that, and you think about the ingenuity that has gone into this, you see how you are really, with a reduction of 20 minutes, you ask those of us on the leeward coast in central Oahu what 20 minutes means, you would be surprised how much that will add up for us in a given year, and the number of minutes or hours we will not be spending on the road. But think about this in terms of what it means, and think about it in terms of a template of what we must do in this upcoming legislative session. Besides being in it all together, besides working together, it is this kind of creativity which Brennan has shown, and I congratulate Brennan and the administration on doing this, is the fact that we are able to expend funds in a very, very careful and a very worthwhile manner, which will give the people the relief that they are crying for. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Senator. And now I'd like to bring up our Governor of the State of Hawaii, Linda Lee.
Thank you, Brent.
And thanks to all the legislators for taking time to be here today. I think these projects can't get finished a moment too soon. And what I like best about them is the quality of life it's going to bring to people. And as you know, we have focused a lot of the development out on the west side of the island. That means even more development. We have a Disney project coming. We have West Oahu campus. It's going to be started soon. There's lots going on the west side of Oahu, and we simply don't have the infrastructure we need. Central Oahu, as well as Rep. Lee mentions, this will raise the quality of life for people. And anything we can do in that area, I think, is important. I think Senator Hanabusa was correct in pointing out the cost sharing between the feds and the state. Any project we can move or we can get at least 80% federal funds, it means we get a lot more bang for the buck here at home. And I think that's great. I want to commend Brennan and the entire team at DOT for pulling out what in some cases are plans that have been talked about for a long time, but for one reason or another didn't move forward. And not being afraid to look at something again. Even though maybe it didn't work in the past, maybe now the technology has changed or the funding formula has changed, maybe there's something different. I think it's important as we look to the future that we not ignore that there has been work done in the past that simply wasn't right for its time and it's right now. So I commend everybody at DOT for the great job that they've done. And as I say, it can't happen a moment too soon. Thanks, Brent.
Thank you, Governor. So at this time, I'd like to open up to questions, any details on the projects, or for any of our speakers here as well.
What widening, do you run into any property taking issues?
It's premature to say exactly what we're gonna need in terms of land acquisition. We'll likely need some, but as we work through the environmental assessment, and with the design build team that gets selected, we'll work with them to come up with concepts that will limit the amount of land that we would need to acquire.
About how far in advance would property owners be notified?
As soon as we know, we will start working with landowners.
Brendan, can you please give us, if you have them, percentages? Each project will improve traffic flow, and again, the minutes. I know you mentioned the 20 minutes in the one example, but can you, for both of them, give me the percentages and the time saved?
Both, well, between the two projects, in the afternoon, we do anticipate saving up to about 10 minutes in commute time going home. The percentage of what that 10 minutes represents really depends on where you're driving to. The farther you live away, it's going to represent a smaller percentage, but I mean, 10 minutes is 10 minutes that someone will have, irregardless of where they live, in spending more time at home with their families, being able to attend their children's practice because maybe they get home too late at night. And then in the morning, we anticipate, depending on what time you leave in the morning, or you're driving through town, anywhere from or up to 20 minutes of travel time savings in that morning commute.
Brendan, during the construction phase, how would it affect traffic while the project starts construction?
There, I mean, you know, this is construction and it's major construction. So we're not going to lie to the public that there won't be some form of disruption in traffic, but we will do all that we can with the traffic control and with the contractors to minimize the amount of disruption to traffic, as well as seeing where we can be working at night in order to reduce the amount of time that our construction crews are on the road when everyone else is.
As far as job creation, this tough economy, two major projects.